Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Yeah, all right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Waharakah Kodash. I want to send the double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity, and for ruling well. And shalom to the elect, Lord willing, with some of those men and women that believe in fear in the name of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, patiently waiting for the day of our salvation, the day of our redemption, which that day is fastly approaching, and it is not. Hey, I'm my brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. And this lesson was inspired by this video that you see right here in front of you. This is Carlos Gracie, and this is not Helio, but you'll see Helio Gracie too in a minute. And these are the forefathers of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. All right, and I myself, restarted my journey in jiu-jitsu, right? It's really fulfilling, you know what I'm saying? It shows me a lot about myself, especially like where I'm at physically, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to lose weight. I'm trying to get back into that spirit of exercise back on me, you know what I mean? When I was in the army, I was pretty fit, you know what I mean? Especially for a long time, I went from a little skinny dude to being like 170, right? Which in my height, according to the Army, my height at the time, my height and age at the time, it was ideal for my body, my BMI, right? So, stress, things you go through, bad eating habits, lack of sleep, high cortisol, right? These things can lead to rapid rapid weight gain over time. You know what I'm saying? Over time. And, you can get complacent in that. It also goes back to balance. The apostles from the apostles to the bishop elders on down, they're constantly teaching us about balance. We got to balance everything that we do in this world. You know what I mean? It's a tightrope walk, even as truth, right? And you have to go through certain things. In fact, let me open up with that, right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7. 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 7. Starting in verse 7, right? Actually, I'll start at 1. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 1, and it reads, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights afore. And he said unto me, Up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee." Right? It says, "And I said, God said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow, like a river." Right? Who then could go into the sea and look upon it and rule it, if he went not through the narrow, which we know that the narrow is a straight gate? And how could he come into the broad, which is the kingdom? Right? But in order to get there, in order to get to that point, we have to walk a narrow path in this truth. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and it's full of good things. Again, this is the kingdom, right? The entrance thereof is narrow. In order to get to that, we got to go through what? Tribulation, hardships. That's that narrow path. I'm not sure who's online, but brothers can post that scripture about broad is the gate and narrow is the way, roughly paraphrasing, right? It says the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, right? And that's likened unto our walk in this truth, right? You can't lean too far righteous, you can't lean too far wickedness. It has to be in the middle. It's a balance, right? You got both, you got water on one side, fire on the other, and it represents also too the hardships and the dangers, right? And only one path between them both, and that path is through Yahweh Shai to the Heavenly Father You got to go through Yahweh Shai, right? And that only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be but one man go there at once, right? And that's likening to our walking in truth. None of us can save each other, right? None of us can deliver each other. We can even deliver ourselves, right? But we still help, right? You can help somebody across the line, but we can't make you finish. It got to be the will of Yahweh Bashem Shai, right? And only one man can walk there at once. It says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So we got to go through these dangers, and we got to, as we walk through these dangers, we have to stay balanced, right? And I know it sounds like I'm not on my point, but we're going to get to the point, right? We're going to go right back to the point because it's going to lead us there, right? In this world, we got to use the world, but not abuse it, right? Use the world as not to abuse it, right? This is 1 Corinthians 7:31, right? 1 Corinthians 7:31. Okay. 1 Corinthians 7:31. And I'm gonna get the precept off the comment board. I see you, brother. But this is the 1 Corinthians 7:31. It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world will pass away. That's right. And the things of this world is going to pass away. It's really not going to benefit you to the point where salvation is going to save you. But the things that we use in this world can benefit us while we're here and maintain us while we're here in these bodies, right? So this is in the NLT and the AMP. Those who use things of this world should not become attached to them. So we shouldn't be attached to these things because they can be taken away and ultimately they're going to be destroyed. Everything, right? Even his flesh. But you get some guys that get into it that's in the bodybuilding and in the eating healthy, and they go hard and dedicate and discipline themselves to do these things. But the body is going to get ruined. Like, look at the dude, what was his name? He was a black bodybuilder. He's really well known. He won the Mr. Olympia. Ronnie Coleman. That's the Wadi Abba Shah. Ronnie Coleman. He put a lot of effort into his body, right? Ronnie Coleman before and after, right? Ronnie Coleman, a bodybuilder. Ronnie Coleman before and after bodybuilding. Yeah, so this guy right here, you know what I mean, and pause for the and he's still toned up, but he can't, he's through, his back is finished. Right? This is a good one right here. This is good right here. This dude put a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work, time, effort into building his body to basically look like the Incredible Hulk. But as he aged and got older, his body got weaker, right? He put all that effort into his body and his back broke, right? So he went from this to this. And there's many men that go through that. Like this. This is a perfect one right here, right? Now imagine if he'd have put this same effort and time into the truth, man. Imagine that. Imagine if he'd have put this kind of, to get this to look like this, you got to put time and discipline in. But ultimately, the body wears down. That's why the scripture says, bodily exercise profit little, but it does profit. Because ultimately, this body is decaying, and it will destroy itself. It will be destroyed as it gets older, and ultimately when the destruction comes. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to beat your body up. This dude went too far. There was no reason for him to push his body to this limit, but he was trying to get an aesthetic. All of this shit was for an aesthetic. It wasn't because he had a job where he built things and he had to pick up big ass boulders and this was all for vanity's sake. And in the end, he got to walk on crutches pretty much for the rest of his life. His back is fucked up. His spine was fucked up because he put too much stress on his body. So he was doing too much. And for the moment, it was good. He won all of these corruptible crowns, right? Look at this dude. He was chiseled. He handsome, right? Ronnie Coleman. This is him in 99. Oh, he used to have hair? I didn't know that. So I guess this was him in 91. This is him in 99. And this was him in 2005. So he just lived this shit. But it was all for vanity's sake. It wasn't for purposeful for use except for vanity and vainglory. Right? Yeah, I think that was him because he used to have hair and shit. This is him right here. And you had them jakes that's like into that shit, into the bodybuilding real heavy and shit. Right? 16 years old, he was 35. But he was building up his body and he was doing this for vanity's sake to win awards. So again, this guy, he was leaning too far, to the world, to the flesh. And that ultimately is destroying them over time. So you don't want to do that. Right? Let's go back. So it says, what? Those who use things of this world should not become attached to them. For this world as we know it will soon pass away. In the AMP, it reads, and those who use the world taking advantage of its opportunities as though they did not make full use of it. For the outward form of this world, its present social and material nature is passing away. And it's ultimately that's what's happening. Right? So again, we got to learn. We learn in balance, And I'm speaking to myself before I speak to any brother. I ain't like, oh yeah, look at me, man. I'm fucking overweight, man. I need to lose this shit. And I be walking up flights of steps to get to the third floor every day, right? I gotta walk a distance to get to my car now. I gotta go outside and play with my dog and have her running and exercising. But now I gotta work on my meals, what I'm eating, right? Because the shit that we eat in this world is destroying us. Right? And it's taken away from who we are. Matter of fact, I'm going to play a bit of this video right here. I was going to start right here, but initially I'm going to actually start right here. And I want you to listen to this is Gracie, right? Remember I was saying that, restarted my journey into jiu-jitsu, and I pray to Yahweh Shai for consistency, that I just keep showing up, right? I just keep showing up. And eventually I'll get to that point. Right, but anyway, let me read before I play this video. Let me play let me read this precept from the brother. This is the brother Kodash 7779, St. Matthew 7:13. Enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way. The straight gate is his truth, right? Wide is the ways of this world, and wide is the gate and broad is the way, right? This world is wide. And it's broad, everybody can enter into it and do whatever, but not everybody can walk the straight gate. Is the way, it says again, St. Matthew 7:13, enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, right? That's right. So many people who go into this broad way, they're going to be destroyed, right? But because straight is the gate and narrow is the way. We read that in 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 1 on down, which leadeth unto life. This narrow gate, this narrow path is leading us to what? Life eternal. And few there be that find it. Few people will find this path because it's only for the elect. Okay? So again, getting back to the lesson, the title of this lesson is Our Strength Will Be Restored. We Are Warriors, right? And we're going to go into the Gracie family a little bit. I know Elder Malcolm, he's on a because it's like the Gracie family split in regards to teachings, right? One path is they get into the one path they go into self-defense. That's the Helio Gracie. And then you got the Carlos Gracie side. He goes into the not champion fight, but more the fighting style. It's like more like competitive side, competing. So they really don't focus hardcore on self-defense. It's there, but their main focus is to do competitive jiu-jitsu, and you learn either way. Both ways are good. Both ways have their pros and cons if you want to look at it that way. But nonetheless, this whole family is a family of warriors, bro. Right? A straight up family of warriors, all of them. Every time this dude have children, they come out another warrior class, another generation of warriors, man. And then Crying Gracie, this video is old. It's about 9 to 10 years old. But Crying Gracie, right? You would think that this dude was balling out, living in a small apartment, bro. But he leads a huge class. All the Gracies lead their own particular gyms, right? And they got different foods and different diets that they use. So as I was watching this, I was pausing it and looking up the food he was eating and putting it in my Amazon cart. You know what I'm saying? I just put it in my Amazon cart, like, yo, that's where it starts at, man. And it really starts with discipline, right? Because food is medicine. Medicine is food. And the stuff that we eat here today, it is not food. And it's taking a lot away from us. So what I need further ado, let me play this real quick. If you can hear it, press 1.
Good morning, everybody. Are you guys ready for some apple cider vinegar shots or what? If I can, I'll do this first. Helps flush out my body, my system first. And then I'll have like either water or lemon water, at least just water. For me, I like to stay light in the day, and I give my body just enough of what it needs to get through that workout or through that next stage. If I go eat Eggs Benedict right now or a big meal, it's gonna really slow me down.
Yeah, because a lot of the foods that we eat in America, they highly saturated in carbs, heavy foods, you know, like the whole American diet, it takes away from you. It don't add to you. It might taste good, but it's really not good for you, right? It destroys us. Everything we eat is motherfucker, but especially the heavy foods, man. I think in this video he was a vegan or something, which I'm not a proponent for veganism, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to eat meats, pause, you know what I'm saying? But you know, everything in moderation. That's what we learning to be temperate. I mean, see, I had read this precept a couple days ago, being temperate in all things. Temperate, right? Let me read this. It says temperate in all things is a phrase rooted in 1 Corinthians 9:25. Right? We already in there. Let's go to 2 verses above. 2 chapters over. 1 Corinthians 9:5 says what? I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 9:25. 1 Corinthians 9:25, right? It says, every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate, which that goes back to discipline, right? You look up that word for discipline, right? And we're striving for the mastery, right? That word for temperate is in the Strong's Concordance.
Strong's G 1467, ekratuamai.
Ekratuamai, which is what? To be self-controlled, contentment, a continent, right? To exhibit self-government conduct, oneself temperately. A figure drawn from athletes who in preparing themselves for the games abstain from unwholesome food, wine, and sexual indulgence. And you see that now even in Rome today. Right, modern day Rome, which is America. When you look at these boxers, these athletes, basketball players, football players, they got to practice some type of wholesome eating, not unwholesome foods. You know, they'll have a cheat day here and there, but they abstain from liquors, wines, and then in some cases sexual indulgence. And it takes discipline to do that, and that's where you get temperance from. Let's look at that definition for temperate. Right, the definition for temperate. Right, the definition for temperate, right, is describes a climate or person that is moderate, mild, free from extreme, excessive, or violent variations. And this is what we have in this world, right? Everything we do and everything we see, everything you indulge in this world, it pushes the spirit of excessiveness, right? You want to get, instead of getting $10,000, you want $10 million. Right, instead of $10 million, you want 10 billion. So you want to get everything as excess because you feel like it's not enough. This place is violent. They push a lot of violence, even through sports. Right, but violence can be tempered. You don't have to be overly violent. You don't have to be underly violent. You can be tempered even in violence. But they want to go to the extremes. Everything free. So we want to be free from these things, right? Free from extremes, excessiveness, right? Excessive or violent variations. A temperate climate. Well, I ain't gonna go into a temperate climate. But that was the definition they gave us for temperate, right? So going back to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25, 1 Corinthians 9:25, right? It says, every man that striving for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, like we had showed you Ronnie Coleman, right? We showed you Ronnie Coleman, right? He did all this for a corruptible crown, but we're not working for a corruptible crown, right? It says, but they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, right? They're disciplined, they're temperate and moderate, and the things that they indulge in and do, right? Because they're trying to obtain a corruptible crown. But we doing it for what? An incorruptible crown, right? One of the bros have posted a precept I wanted to get off the comment board. Again, it's the brother Kodash 7779. Ecclesiasticus 37 and 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness. So when you eat too much of anything, particularly meats in this case, it's going to bring you what? Sickness. It doesn't mean you can't eat it, but you shouldn't overindulge in anything. And suffering will turn into choler, right? Verse 31, by suffering have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. Let's read this in the GNT. Sirach 37, 31 through 30 in the GNT, right? GNT. The GNT, Sirach chapter, what was he at? Sirach brothers. Sirach 37 and 30. Sirach 37 and 30. Fucking roosters, man. 3 o'clock in the morning. Up. It's up. Fucking hell, bro. Catching this fucking hell. Fucking animals, man. Come on, bro. So, again, Sirach chapter 37, verse 30. And I'll get back to the video, brothers. Just bear with me, man. This fucking things are just pissing me off. This is again Sirach. Sirach chapter 30, verse. Hold on, brother. Just bear with me. Sirach chapter 37 and 30. For some odd reason, they don't have that. Oh, yeah, here it is right here. Sirach chapter 37, verse 30 in that GNT. If you eat too much, you'll get sick. If you do it all the time, you'll always have stomach troubles. Gluttony has been the death of many people. Avoid it and live longer, right? Because in this world, we're taught they don't want you to be a part of the warrior class, right? So they'll have you looking like, you know, my 600-pound life, right? This type shit. And it's actually a market for this, right? There's a market for people that are gluttonous, right? You see a whole bunch of, look at that nigga woman. She looks crazy. And it ain't just her, Edomites, black women. Look at this shit. Men, 600. This is a gluttony right here. This is demons. This is sickness. And most of these people that have this weight on them like this, they end up perishing, dying early. Even after they lose a ton of weight, they still pass away. Their life is not extended. And LaTanya, look at this shit. LaTanya, she passed away recently. She had a glutton demon on her, right? From a very young age, you know, eating a bunch of high carbs. She couldn't even make it to the table. She was eating biscuits, waffles, fries, bacon, eating all that shit. And then I know somebody made a joke like they know they're going to be all right because everybody on 600-pound life got a man. But it really, a lot of these dudes be enablers, right? People who are enabling these people and getting over on these people because they have some type of fame. Look at this shit. I remember this picture right here. This shit, they had to blur out her crotch. She couldn't even close her legs. She was so big, she couldn't even close her legs. This is gluttony. And you ain't supposed to be this way. But they do this. They push the spirit on both men and women, particularly men too, right? They push this image on people. Like you see people doing that mukbang shit. Like a lot of them gooks do it, but they don't gain no weight. They eat that shit and they still like 130 pounds. But the nigga woman or nigga man eat this shit and you're through. You're out of here, man. Like a guy like this, you don't want to be like, I don't want to be like this nigga. Fuck that. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. But this is gluttony. The whole family fucked up like this. The whole family got a disease, man. Right? And many people, this dude's supposed to be a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He can't fight nothing. He can't even fight sleep apnea. And then look at the women. They're through. Just fat. My 600-pound life siblings share emotional weight loss journey. right? But a lot of that weight loss got to take what? Operations and shit. Niggas need a crane to get out the house and shit. Look at this shit. No one should be this fucking big. Jabba the Hutt. No one should be this big. She got to walk around with an oxygen tank on her. Because of what? Gluttony, man. And then what? It brings sores. Right? And they make a show, and they make people make this is a show. There's a market for this, a sex market for this. This is disgusting. Right? And you can't fight like this. A dude like this, I'm gonna do men, man, because this shit is crazy. Right? Look at these men. Like, look at this Jake through, man. He's supposed to be a warrior, a fighter in the ancient world, bro. You can't fight like this, bro. Let's go back to the precepts. Right? It says if you eat too much, you'll get sick. And this is true. If you do it all the time, you'll always have stomach troubles, and not just a upset tummy, right? You'll get ulcers, you get all kinds of shit. Parasites, gluttony has been the death of many people avoided to live longer. So that's where this guy comes in at, and he's talking about his diet, because your diet affects everything you do throughout your day. I know this personally, right? I eat the bullshit, I feel like shit. When you eat clean, you start eating clean, start eating better, you feel better and you get more energy, because food is not supposed to just taste good. Whereas in this society, they take all the nutrients out. Let me take this off. They take all the nutrients out of the foods, and they don't do nothing but satiate or partially satiate your taste buds. That's what it does. It doesn't even fill your appetite. So then you just eat more and more and more. But when you start eating better, we're going to go into this right here. Right? This is dope, man. So this is his class right here. This is gym. This is like 10 years ago. I'm sure there's many people up in here. You see?
Good morning, everybody. Are you guys ready for some apple cider vinegar shots or what? If I can, I'll do this first. Helps flush out my body, my system first. And then I'll have like either water or lemon water, at least just water. For me, I like to stay light in the day, and I give my body just enough of what it needs to get through that workout or through that next stage. If I go eat Eggs Benedict right now or a big meal, it's gonna really slow me down.
You heard what he said. You eat a big meal, it's gonna slow you down. That's why you get tired. You want to lay up, man.
Be able to eat anything and go train and do anything. You know, any 20-year-old kid is going to be able to eat anything and perform still.
And that's what happens, right? A lot of the foods we ate when we were kids, when we were younger, you kind of still stick to that shit. You stick to that same diet. But as you get older, like I'm 46, I can't eat pizza all fucking day and get up and bounce back. My body ain't, my metabolism rolled down, slowed down, right? You can't be eating that shit. You can't be eating the bullshit. When we was kids, we eat cereal, Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops, all that other bullshit, which is not really food. And we call that shit breakfast on a Saturday morning. Your mom, she was lazy, tired from all week. She didn't want to get up and shake nothing in the kitchen. Go ahead and eat some cereal. So you eat some cereal and that's it. You just hopped up on sugar watching cartoons all damn day. And then you take those same habits into your adulthood.
I'm going to be 28, so there's only so long that you can fight for. If I'm like eating bad foods, it's really putting my body in danger. It's really putting it.
And this when he said that hit home. That hit home. He said when I'm eating really bad foods, it's putting my body in danger, especially for what you're trying to do. And this dude's a jiu-jitsu expert, right? He grew up in jiu-jitsu. And Helio Gracie, he didn't just teach him how to fight, man. He gave him a diet. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Damn, that dude is big. Right? The Helio Gracie diet, right? It says the Gracie diet is a food combining lifestyle developed by Grandmaster Carlos Gracie, Helio's brother, over 65 years to maximize nutrition, energy, and digestion. It emphasizes eating natural, unprocessed foods, which, we got to get the best we can down here. Spacing meals 4 to 5 hours apart, avoiding pork, which you ain't supposed to eat anyway, and processed sugar, which you ain't supposed to eat anyway, and combining food groups properly to prevent fermentation in the digestive system, because that's what's happening. A lot of the shits we eat, even the fruits, they ferment in our gut, right? It says key principles, and I'm going to watch this a little later. Hold on. Okay.
Because
I'm gonna watch this a little later.
I've always
Right. It says key principles to the Gracie diet of the Gracie diet. No snacks. Meals are spaced 4 to 5 hours apart to allow for complete digestion, resting of the stomach. Apostle Gabar tells us this a lot. He says, like, before we go to bed, we shouldn't be eating nothing. I think he said like 3 hours before you go to bed or something like that. Well, you shouldn't be eating 3 hours before you go to bed or something like that. He said best to eat best to go to sleep on an empty stomach. But it says no snacks. Meals are spaced 4 to 5 hours apart to allow complete digestion and resting the stomach. And those people that we saw on My 600-Pound Life, they never let their stomachs rest, right? They were just constantly eating, right? Dude was just constantly eating all day. These people never let their stomach rest, man. Their skeletal system is struggling, was struggling in their body, just to hold it up. Their body, their organs are working hard overtime because they haven't let their hearts rest, man. Let their stomachs rest. Okay, let's go back to this. It says proper food combining. Foods are categorized into groups, and certain combinations are forbidden to avoid acid fermentation. Natural foods focus on fruits, vegetables, and whole foods. And Apostle Gabar tells us about that. We're supposed to be eating whole foods, man. Forbidden items, pork and its derivatives are strictly forbidden, right? Alcoholic beverages, you know what I'm saying? I remember Apostle Zahar said some years ago, you know, I have a habit of bringing certain, gifts from time to time. I remember I tried to buy him some wine. He's like, hey, brother, no, I don't think it was wine. It might have been a hard liquor or something. But he's like, hey, brother, we don't drink that, man. I ain't drink that in forever. And I believe I might have bought him some wine too before. He was like, yeah, brother, I ain't really drinking that right now, except for like the Passover or something like that. But alcoholic beverage, these shit's supposed to be forbidden. Pork, the scriptures tell us about eating pork. There's a law on pork. You can get it in Leviticus chapter 11. And its derivatives are strictly forbidden. Alcoholic beverages and artificial sweeteners are avoided. Food categories. Foods are divided into groups. Fat/oil, starches, acidic fruits, dairy, sugary fruits. Group A, proteins, fish, meats, fatty foods. Group B, starches, natural, grains, carbohydrates, not the fake ones. Group C, sweets and creamy, sweet fruits, cream, right? D, acidic, lemon, lime, oranges, grapefruit, strawberries, pineapples. Meal combined rules. Proteins and veggies, group A, can be eaten with other groups A items or natural starches, group B. Sweet fruits, group C, can be combined with group C or B. Acidic fruits, group D, should not be combined with each other or with other food groups. Eat alone. Do not combine different starch sources in the same meal. Example given, rice with potatoes. Yeah, you ain't supposed to do that. Right? Example meal plan, breakfast, papaya smoothie, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramlab, Apostle Tahar, especially Apostle Ricard. I remember them specifically talking about drinking a smoothie. Apostle Tahar said he eats a smoothie in the daytime, in the morning time, and he ain't hungry all day because the way he make his smoothies, right? So papaya smoothie with plant-based milk or tapioca with eggs. That's just for breakfast. Lunch, brown rice, grilled chicken, green salad. These are whole foods with extra virgin olive oil, which, it all depends, because I know Apostle Gabar tells us to leave the seed oils alone, right? Get like ghee, beef tallow. I'm sure they got like coconut oil. You can put coconut oil. You can put coconut oil on your salad, right? You can put it on your body and you can drink it, right? So after snacks, but I believe that's a seed oil too. But after afternoon snack, watermelon eaten alone. So, and this is good. Watermelon is extremely good, man. And in this society, Esau make all the things that are good for the body extremely expensive. He does. He do it on purpose, but yet you can get a 5 for $5 at fucking Wendy's or Burger King, wherever the fuck they get that shit from. right? You can get a 5 for $5. You can get a Dave's double at the goddamn Wendy's and shit. But when you want to get a watermelon, it's hard as hell. You be hard pressed to find a watermelon with seeds in it. Dinner, baked fish with grilled zucchini and tea. And tea is good for digestion. This video provides a practical demonstration. I'm definitely watching this video, bro. Open video in a new tab. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely watching this video, Lord willing. Lord, hold on. I'm gonna have to click it. Let me click this, man. Man, this dude, he's older now too, man. He was younger back.
Hello, my friends.
He's older now. He's like, shit. Right, he's older now.
Hello, my friends.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. The bullshit. The Gracie diet sucks. It's all about who eats it, man. What the hell happened here? You know, it's all about and your diet should be tweaked. Your diet should be tweaked for you. You know what I'm saying? What helps you? Helio Gracie diet. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So it should be tweaked for what you eat, right? And how your body, because everybody's body's different. Right? You gotta be wary of that. But let's go back to this video, man. And it's all about, because fighting is way more, and I'm learning this too, bro. In jiu-jitsu, it's not just about what you can do on a mat. It's what you do outside of the mat. Elder Barack Allah, man, he's like, yo, bro, you gotta start working out. So like on the days where I don't do jiu-jitsu, I gotta start working out. You know what I mean? Do it for 30 minutes to 45 to an hour, depending on the body. And Apostle Gabar, he really encouraged me, right? Last time we did a video on Sunday, he was like, hey, brother, I know you can do it, man. I know you can do it. Because the same discipline we apply to this truth, we can apply to ourselves in our lives. That is balance, brothers. That is complete balance, right? So let me play some more of this.
So long that you can fight for. If I'm like eating bad foods, it's really putting my body in danger. It's really putting it in risk. I enjoy to eat healthy because I enjoy being able to train the way I train, able to feel the way I feel, and I'm supporting things that are good for the environment, good for the world. I basically haven't eaten meat in a year. I eat fish, and I don't eat too much dairy. I don't drink milk. I don't eat as much gluten. It just kind of happened slowly. It took a long time for me to be able to really believe in not being able to eat meat and still be a professional athlete. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since basically before I can remember what is what. I already was training with a little gi on and a little yellow belt. I started learning with my father, and he learned with his father. So we come from a very strong foundation of jiu-jitsu. My grandfather was to jiu-jitsu what Einstein is to mathematics, He basically took Japanese jiu-jitsu, which was based on explosiveness and strength, and he started developing his own techniques. His whole mission was to prove that jiu-jitsu was based on leverage and that a weaker man can beat a bigger man. Within a little bit of time, he became the one who was the representer and like actually fighting. And his brother kind of stepped to the side and became the businessman. And them together was what really made the Gracie family. One had 21 kids, the other one had 9 kids, and they just...
Yeah, and I guarantee you this man didn't have 21 kids with just one woman. You know what I'm saying? This is Carlos Gracie. This is Helio Gracie, man. And these are this is Gracie family right here. Everybody was in it, man. This is how it's supposed to be. And we going back to this, bro. A lot of us brothers getting back into the martial arts. We started it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Rashai. The Lord creating us to be a warrior class people, man. When we went to we was going through all those wars, coming out of Egypt with all them nations, the Lord, he's the father, Slaki. He's the Lord of hosts. He's the King of hosts, which is the King of armies. And when we were abiding in Yahweh Basham Rashai, we were unstoppable, bro. Nobody could fuck with us. Right, there's a scripture in Judith. It said that when we followed the Lord, nobody could mess with us. Roughly paraphrasing, nobody could touch us. But when we left the Lord, we lost a lot of this. But now Yahweh Basham Shai is bringing it back. And these are Israelites, bro. All these are Jakes. These are Jakes right here. Edom don't have children like this on this level like here. They might have dealt with the so-called white man, woman, or lighter skin Jakes. People, and they got these J kids, but all these are warriors, bro. Listen to what he said.
was the representative and like actually fighting, and his brother kind of stepped to the side and became the businessman. And them together was what really made the Gracie family. One had 21 kids, the other one had 9 kids, and they just basically created this army of little jiu-jitsu champions.
And that's what we're going to do in the kingdom of heaven. Every time we have a Jake, we're going to spread our wings in the kingdom of heaven with our children, bro. With our sons and daughters, bro. They're going to be spreading. All of them going to know, we all going to know the arts, man. Every art. We're going to know the art of horticulture. We're going to know botany. We're going to know fighting. We're going to know every art. We're going to automatically, you know, that movie The Matrix, they was downloading them with all of that information, how to do jiu-jitsu, how to do kung fu. We're going to be doing all that shit, right? And we can do it. We're doing it now on a lower level as we practice what? Jiu-jitsu, man. This is a lifestyle. Jiu-jitsu is a lifestyle, bro. And I'm really, for some odd reason, I'm really optimistic this time because I prayed to Yahweh Shemel Shah for this, bro. I prayed to Yahweh Shemel Shah. It gave me a different place. I had to walk up way more steps. I got to walk further to get to my car, right? I got a big park where I can walk around and jog eventually, you know what I'm saying? Get back into that. All of that, man. So I see what's happening. He put me back in here and gave me a free scholarship. For any of you brothers that was in the military, you know, if you got, you know, a certain VA rating, bro, you can get a free scholarship from an organization called We Defy. And they'll give you 12 months free. And they'll give you 2 free gis, right? And you can train at you know, a participating gym. Mainly these Gracie gyms, man, around the world, around the country. I'm telling you, bro, this is how it's supposed to be. And what these kids didn't just learn to fight, man, they learned discipline. They learned discipline. And that's what they was, and this is what Esau doesn't want. And this was led by men, not women. There are women that train, but who started it? The brothers, man. Right? The brothers, man. Like you go to Chicago and that dojo, that Elder Malcolm, he's also a sensei, man. He a coach, man. He trained. Them brothers in Chicago are warriors, man. Them brothers in LA, they're warriors, man. They do the jiu-jitsu. The brothers in Wisconsin, they getting it in. We all getting it in. See, people think that don't let Nate and the naysayers fool you, man. We're not bums. We ain't sitting on our mom's couch, eating all the snacks up, beating our woman and shit, knocking our head between the wash and dry. We ain't doing no shit like that, bro. It's about self-improvement, man. Because through Yahweh Shemel Shah, we got the victory. He's teaching us how to improve ourselves, even on this side. Even on this side, bro. And Esau don't want this. He don't want Jake to have, this is why you got to have one woman in America. Right? You go to Brazil, buddy, hey, it's open season down there. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you on a level like this, where not only are you training your sons and your daughters and the next generations, you're training your sons and they're going to teach the next generation. All these are, I don't know all these specific by name, but these are warriors, grown warriors, all these people, especially him right here. Right? I believe this is his father. Right here. These are the Gracie sons, the Gracie kids, man. And you ain't want to meet, I guarantee you ain't want to meet one of these kids in the streets, man. Because they train them from puppies, from children all the way up, their whole life, man. Kron, he trained his whole life, man. All he knew was jiu-jitsu, man. That's all he knows, man. And they're able to not only make it a business, a thriving family business, even with the splits, they're prepared. And Yahweh Shema, it ain't them. It was the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai that taught them this, that put the spirit on them to do this. Right? Okay. So I wanted to play a little bit of this. I ain't gonna play the sound because it's in Portuguese anyway, but it says you can read the thing. It requires balance and functionality of one's body. Let me rewind this. Jiu-jitsu is an activity that what? Jiu-jitsu is an activity that requires what? Balance, functionality of one's body. So you can't be out overly balanced, unbalanced in the body to do this, man. You can't do this. You gotta balance. And you know, getting back into it, it's a slow walk, but you get there, you start running eventually, man. I'm praying to you how about Shemel Shai for the next 12 months, man. I just stick with it, stay consistent. Right now, my goal is consistency. I'm not doing everything by once. I'm not just emptying my refrigerator and trying to change it all overnight because it takes money. That take time. But also too, it take, releasing these habits, because as we get into this truth, complacency can kick in. And you see that. Okay, let me play a little bit of this, man. Look how he jumped on him, man. And mind you, he was 60 years old back then. This guy, this Carlos Gracie, he was 60 years old. That this is in the 50s. 60 years old. Man, tear that ass up. Right? He like a little muskrat taking him down, man. Look at him. This is in the 50s. And a lot of these moves got improved over the years with each Gracie generation. So a lot of stay the same, but they also improved on a lot of things too. Look at that, man. My 600-pound life, you ain't gonna be able to do no shit like this. And then you got Helio. This is my man right here. This is one I like him a lot. I'm more inclined to the Helio side. You know what I'm saying? But he became one of the best fighters. And mind you, this dude, he was sick growing up. He was known for getting dizzy, passing out. He was weak. And that was his older brother was Carlos, right? The little short one, that was his older brother. Okay? National Jiu-Jitsu star. Check this out. Check these moves out, man. This is war. This is what we getting back to, bro. Two-hand choke, front choke defense. Boom. Flip them over. You're going to try to grab him from the rear. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Boom. And he used the dude's weight against him. He didn't do too much. Rear hug under the arms. Check this out. Boom. Boom. Leg, a foot lock. Right? And this is all about defense too. Right? How he defended, and he took the weapon out of his hand. Punch defense. Bam. Haymaker punch defense. Boom. Duck it. Flip him over, man. Get him in the arm lock. Roundhouse kick defense. Boom. Boom, man. Front kick defense. Check this out. Bam. Gun defense. Show you how to defend against a weapon. This is warrior stuff, man. This is what we're supposed to be doing, man. Knife defense. Hey, come on, bruh. But my favorite, he got this one move where he's sitting on the ground. Watch this shit. This is crazy. Watch how he flip bull sitting on the ground. This is not it right here. It's coming. Now, I'm going to get to the precepts, brother. Right? Underneath. Check this out right here. While sitting. Watch. Spent him around, bruh. Let me rewind that shit again. He was just sitting, and then dude came up on him. And these are real life scenarios that can happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Real life scenarios, man, especially in Brazil. You sitting minding your business here, he come with the bullshit. Spin him around, put him in an arm lock. Now he tapping out while sitting from behind. They try to yoke him up. Nope. Give me that leg. Collar grab. Watch this. Watch this. What? Boom. Boom. That's cold, bruh. Double collar one. I'll jack you up. Okay. Boom. Swing him around. Arm lock. Headlock defense. People try to do you like Marty McFly. Not today. Pick his ass up. Toss him down. Bent over. Okay. Watch this. Boom. One of my favorite moves right there. He's done, man. So this is our warrior class, man. Right? And we're going back to this. Right? This is the book of 2 Samuel. Chapter 1, verse 16. And David said unto him, thy blood, slacking. I'm sorry. 2 Samuel chapter 2. I'm sorry. 2 Samuel chapter 1, verse 18. I'm going to start at 17. It says, and David lamented with this lamentation over Saul, over Jonathan, his son. Also, he had bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher, right? And not the fake book of Jasher, right? Not that shit. Okay. But the Lord told us to teach us how to do. To what? This is an NLT. And he commanded that it be taught to the people of Judah It is known by the song of the bow. It is recorded in the book of Jasher, right? In the AMP. And he told them to teach the sons of Judah the song of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher, right? So I asked this question to ChatGPT. Can you help me understand in the 2 Samuel 1:18? And it says this verse is something like, also he had bade them to teach the children of Judah to use the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher. This comes right after the deaths of Saul and Jonathan. Saul, the first king of Israel, had died in a battle against the Philistines. Jonathan, Saul's son, and David's close companion also died. David mourned deeply for them. David then composed a lamentation or a funeral song, often called the Song of the Bow. The bow is the verse that has a few layers of meanings. Literal meaning, warfare and military skill, right? And this is what we're getting back into, brothers. We're learning. This is jiu-jitsu is that. That's a skill. The most direct meaning is that David wanted the men of Judah to learn archery and warfare. And why? Because Israel had just suffered a devastating military defeat. The Philistines were skilled warriors and often used archers effectively. Saul and Jonathan were skilled in battle, and David understood Judah needed preparation and discipline. And this is what a lot of people lack: preparation and discipline. Again, you ain't just gonna get in the ring. You can think you are. Like, that's why, like, fighters are cool, calm, and collected, bro, even when they're fighting, especially in jiu-jitsu. And that helps you to elevate in jiu-jitsu. Being calm on your back, right? Not getting all startled and afraid. Right? It happens because we're in the flesh, but you gotta rein that in. Right? You gotta be wise. It's not just about swinging crazy, because that's what people think. And most people, they fight emotionally. Right? You just fighting, either trying to get somebody off you or you trying to get somebody on the ground. And it only lasts less than 30 seconds. Because again, with your diets, what we eating, motherfucker drinking, drunk, he fueled up on that liquid courage. He's gonna go down in an instant, and he might even feel it to the next day. Why is his head kicking? Because you got knocked out, nigga, and you was undisciplined, right? So we all need preparation and discipline, just like David was telling the sons of Judah. So part of the verse is practical: train for war, learn military skill, do not remain weak before enemies. The bow may honor Jonathan. I ain't gonna read that portion, right? Spiritual understanding. No, I don't need that. Hold on. So then I said, in Psalms 18:34, David says Yahweh taught him to fight, right? And I'll get that real quick. This is Psalms 18:34. I'll start at 32. It is good. It is good. Slack it. It is the Most High that girdeth me with strength. And this is the reason why, as we get into these precepts, brother, this is what the Most High is dealing with us through his son, Yahweh Shai. And when we read these things of the past, we can apply these things to the day, because nothing's really changed, right? Except the time. It is the Most High that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect, right? He maketh my feet like hinds' feet and setteth me upon my high places. He teacheth my hands to war. Again, all praise, honor, and glory go to Yahweh Shai for doing this. So that a bow of steel is broken by my arms. A bow of steel. David could break a bow of steel. Thou hast given me the shield of thy salvation. And we're gonna get spiritual powers too, because that's in the scriptures too. Even on this side. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand have holden me up, and thy gentleness have made me great. Back on the chat GPT. And I hope brothers are being edified by this lesson, because that's what I'm doing it for, to edify and give, to preach hope, right? So if you're being edified, you can press 1, probably shot. So it says Psalms 18:34. David says Yahweh taught him to fight. And yes, in Psalms 18:34, David says he teaches my hands to war, and so that a bow of steel is broken by my arms. This part of a larger psalm where David is giving glory to Yahweh by delivering him from his enemies. And ultimately, it is Yahweh Bashar Shah that's going to deliver us from our enemies, man. The idea is not that David believed his strength came only from himself. He saw his skill, survival, strategy, endurance, and victories as things given or strengthened by the Most High. And exactly, because the Lord says what? It's he put it on a man's spirit to do the work, to do anything. Right? A man's going is of the Lord. How therefore can he know his own way? It's tons of people out here, but they're not going to jiu-jitsu and they're not sticking with it. Right? The Lord got to put the spirit on you to get into this thing. He got to put the spirit on you to learn skill, survival skills, strategy, endurance, victory, and give you the inspiration to do it. As things given or strengthened by the Most High. There are a few important layers in this verse. David was literally a warrior king. Right? David spent much of his life in conflict, defending sheep from predators as a youth. Right? Just like these cats learning how to defend themselves from predators from a youth, man. They had each other to fight. Like these guys are cold, man. The Gracie family is cold, bro. Bunch of Israelites in Brazil tearing shit up. Right? It says, and when you mess with one, you mess with all of them. Right? Right? It says, fighting Goliath, fleeing Saul, leading soldiers, fighting surrounding nations. So when he says Yahweh taught his hands to war, he means discipline, battle experience. And that's what Yahweh Bashar Shai is putting us through now. We're going through battle experiences, bro. In our own life, in our outside life, in this truth. Courage. He's teaching us courage. Tactical wisdom. And this is something that women do not have. Physical ability and preservation in combat. In the ancient Israelite worldview, victory in battle was not seen as merely human achievement, which that's what they teach you in this world. Because really it was Yahweh Bashar Shah that gave everybody their victories, whether you were Israelite or a heathen. But Esau, he don't give the grace, the glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashar Shah. David still practiced playing. See, you still got to practice. You ain't just going to wake up one night and be Superman. You got to practice. You got to plan. And he fought, endured hardship. This is the key for us in this truth, brothers and sisters. Enduring hardships. One of you brothers can post Revelation 2 and it says, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. I want to say 2 and 26, might be 25. And learn through experience. Oh, the apostles and the bishop elders constantly bring this out towards us, man. Experience, man, because experience brings hope, as the scriptures say. It says, but he believed the understanding and strength behind it ultimately came from Yahweh. That connects with another biblical theme. Wisdom, skill, and ability are gifts from the Most High. So the Lord giving us these gifts, bro. The phrase bow is still. The phrase breaking or bending a bow is still symbolize what? Extraordinary strength. We were strong in the ancient world, bro. We had powers. That's why we're the sons of the power. Some translations render it bronze rather than modern steel, since ancient steel technologies was different. The point is great strength, empowered warfare, overcoming difficult oppositions. Spiritual principle. Many people also read this spiritually, not only physical war, but preparation for trials and pressures, adversity, and endurance. And that's what we were going through now. Oh, the brother posted it up. The water, my brother. The water. All right. Many brothers saying they being edified. So the water Yahweh Bashar Shah. The brother Kodash 7779, Revelation 2 and 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. Verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So the elect gonna get this power, bro. And them new bodies are gonna be perfect. You ain't gonna have to be like Ronnie Coleman lifting no weights. We ain't gonna have to do nothing. We ain't gonna have to go to the gym, take our shirts off, and get butt naked in front of other men to look good. No, we're gonna naturally have these powerful bodies, man, inside and out, man. Right? St. Matthew's chapter 24 verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, what? The same shall be saved. So we can learn a lot from this physical world as well as the spiritual world. Both sides. That's a balance, brothers. That's a balance. The Most High is doing what he's doing for us, brothers. Our strength will be restored. We are warriors, man. We're in a spiritual battle, right? We're in the army. We're in the military. I don't know if they came in and told you, but we're in the military. We're in Yahweh Shemel military, right? 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness, right? As a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. So we really in Yahweh Shai's army, his military. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this work, of this life. Yeah, man, that's discipline. Not being worried about the shit that's going on out here, because it's not really helping you. It's not beneficial. What's going on with your so-called family in the world, what's going on with these celebrities, athletes, and all these people, that shit don't make us no, it ain't making us shit. We ain't got to be concerned with the things of this world because we are in a spiritual battle right now. We got to keep our eyes on the field. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to please Yahweh Bashar Shai that chosen us to be soldiers. Okay? Psalms 144:1. Oh, Brakta Yahweh Bashar Shai. Psalms 144:1. Blessed be Yahweh Bashar Shai, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. So really, Yahweh Bashar Shai, the Father on high, through his only begotten Son, those are the real first teachers. They taught, you talk about that, you put all this stock in the Gracie family, but hey, them Israelites, our patriarchs, starting with our forefather Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? The Lord put the Spirit on them to teach us how to get down, man. Right? He taught it how to. We took over them nations, bro. Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, they couldn't do nothing. The Girgashites, Jergasites, Hittites, Hivites, all the ites and Girgites, they was done. They got mowed the fuck down. The Edomites. But when we went off, we lost that power. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai of hosts, right, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff of the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. The mighty man and the man of war. You think the Gracies is bad? Man, them Judites, them Gadites, bro. Them Ishkarites, them Asherites, bro. Hardcore, bro. David's mighty men, he had somebody from every tribe up in there, man. Getting busy, bro. Superhero type status. You can read it. Superhero type status, man. And that's what the Lord took away from us because of our wickedness. The mighty man, the man of war, the judge, and the prophet, and the prudent and the ancient. In the NLT, it says, all their heroes and soldiers, judges and prophets, fortune tellers and elders, which we ain't no fortune tellers, we're prophets. But we were heroes, man. We were the superheroes, brother. That's why I like this one right here, because we were what? We were heroes and soldiers. Right? And the Lord took these things away from us for our disobedience. But now the elect is returning and he's giving us this power back. He's giving us the power back, bro. Straight up, man. And you starting to see it, man. We spiritual warriors and physical warriors. Right? Psalms 140. Oh, I read this right here. Let me read this again. Psalms 144:1. Blessed be Yahweh Shemel Shai, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. My goodness, my fortress, my high tower, and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me. Yahweh Bashim Shai, what is man that thou takest knowledge of him, or the son of man that thou makest account of him? Right? It says, man is like to vanity. His days are a shadow that passeth away. Yeah, because ultimately Helio Gracie passed away, Carlos Gracie passed away. The other Gracie sons, they getting old, they about to drop dead, right? Bow thy heavens, O Yahweh, and come down. Touch of the mountains, and they shall smoke. right? This is power. We are the sons of the power, bro. Right? Psalms 86 and 6. I have said, ye are gods. Right? So people look at us like we just regular people now because we're in this state right now. But we're gods, man. Not yet, not fully. But when Yahweh Shai come back, we're going to be made gods on the earth, bro, and the universe. Under Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, King David, the rest of the 12 apostles, man. Ye are gods. And all of you are the children of the Most High, are the sons of the Most High. All the Israelites are the sons of the Most High. But what? But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Why? Because of our iniquities and our sins. And we got weaker. And our enemies try to keep us weaker with our kryptonite, which is sin. But in the kingdom of heaven, we ain't gonna have no kryptonite. Sin, we're not gonna be in a sinful flesh. We're gonna be upgraded, extraterrestrial, like Bishop Elder Tazadakba teaches it. We're gonna be extraterrestrials, bro. And we're gonna be impervious to sin. Second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 9. I already read that, Salaki. I read this. Isaiah chapter 3, verse. I read this too, Salaki. Yeah, Sirach chapter 30, verse 16. There is no riches above a sound body and no joy above the joy of the heart, man. Right? Death is what? Death is better than a bitter life or continued sickness, man. That's why you be ready to roll, man. Right? Because you don't want to be sick and die. But ultimately, this is all vain because these men, they got old, they passed away. But they taught their generations, man. And we ought to teach. I'll end it off with that one in Deuteronomy. It says, what we supposed to, when we sit with our children, man, we supposed to teach our sons these words, man. Right? This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. I'll start at 6. I'll start at 5. And thou shalt love Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that power with all thine heart. And that's not just with you just saying it, but being obedient and fearing Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's the love of the Most High. With all thy heart and with all thy soul. And Yahweh Shai told us the same thing. And with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, which is your mind. And thou shalt teach them diligently to thy children, really to thy sons, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy head, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, man. Train up a child, train up a child. This is Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And the Gracie family is an example of that. And we are going back to this because we learning all this from the Gracie family, and we teaching our children. We teaching our sons, even our daughters, raising them up, putting them in these classes, man, teaching them discipline, teaching them hard work, right? Teaching them self-control, because jiu-jitsu is all about self-control, man. Right? Self-control, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's one of my favorite chapters of the Bible, bro. The brother had posted this up, 2 Samuel chapter 23. Right? This whole chapter this is the superhero chapter right here, right? 2 Samuel 23 and 8. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Detachment that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino the Ezonite. He lifted up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time. Let me see this. Read this in LT and AMP. What's that? 2 Samuel 23 and 8. 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 8. These be the names of the Salaki. In the NLT and the AMP. These are the names of David's mightiest warriors. The first was Jeshobeam, the Hakamonite, who was the leader of the three mightiest warriors among David's men. He once used his spear to kill 800 enemy warriors in a single battle. By himself, 800 men, Superman type stuff right here, bruh. And David was on a higher level than all of them. But these are just his men. Right? Right? He's one man. He was a one-man army, bruh. I'm the one-man army, a son. I've never been taken up. The next in rank among the three was Eleazar, son of Dodad, a descendant of Ahoah. Once Eleazar and David stood together against the Philistines when the entire Israelite army fled. So they was back to back tearing shit up. Right? And he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it and slew the Philistines. And Yahweh wrought a great victory because it came from the Lord. This is the power we're going back to and more. Right? This is the power we're going back to, bro. And so you can read this, you can read about his mighty men. 2 Samuel chapter 23. It's hardcore, right? It's hardcore, definitely hardcore, right? And this is what we're going back to, brothers. Our strength is being renewed spiritually and physically, right? Our forefather, he was the beginning. This Yasher Allah, Jacob, Genesis 32:24, and Jacob was left alone, and there he wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. He wrestled an angel, man, an angel, and he wouldn't let him go. That's perseverance. We come from a family of perseverance, bro. We're the Israelites. We're Yasher Allah, bro. We're warriors, bro. Warriors, man. Warriors. Call halam la Yahweh Shema Rashad. You know what I'm saying? Zechariah 12:8. In that day shall the Lord Yahweh Shema Rashad defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, Superman, Dawadah. And the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angels of the Lord before them. We're going to be gods, bro. We're going to be tearing shit up, bro. And I can't wait because we're going to be having sparring sessions in the kingdom too. We're going to be sparring like a motherfucker with one another, bro. Loving it. No pain. We just out there getting it. We ain't sweating. We ain't panting. We just fighting like on some Goku shit. I don't even like Dragon Ball Z. But we just out there training. Just training. Hardcore style, man. It's going to be fun, man. That's right. Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. Yahweh Shema Shai is his name. That's right, brother. That's right, man. So I really hope you're edified. I didn't mean this to go this long. Went about an hour, a little over an hour. Some change, you know what I'm saying? But hey, man, I was definitely inspired by this, man. And you brothers, we're going to work on, we all should work on our health. Health is wealth, both spiritual and physical. And get into some activities, bro. Learn jujitsu, karate, kung fu, taekwondo, boxing, MMA. What's that other one where they punch and they kick? I was going to say Tai Chi. It ain't Tai Chi. It's called something else. I forget the name. It's some Thailand boxing, kickboxing. Yeah, learn, get into kickboxing, get into all of that shit, bro. And stick with it. And pray for all of us. Pray for each and every last one of us to stay consistent in his truth, consistent in his faith, consistent in our walk, consistent in the work, consistent in our lives. That's what we should do, man. We almost fuck up out of here. Any day now. That chip can be pushed on the people. Third World War can pop off. Yahweh Shai is back, baby. And it's over, man. It's that we give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Wahaba Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and salutations to the double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to the elect. Keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Shalom. Shalom, brothers. Shalom.